Welcome back to Live with IAD Real Estate. My name is Chris Pflueger. I am your managing director and the broker here in the state of Florida, and extremely excited to have a special guest with me today. As you know, we welcome new folks as they come aboard, but we also talk about a bunch of different topics. Today we have Sean Burke, who has recently joined the team, and I thank you for taking the time, Sean, to join us here on the video.
Well, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it, Chris.
You got it. So, Sean, I know you've been in the business for about 8 years. So you're in Central Florida, you're in the Orlando market, and you were with a couple different companies since starting out, and you were doing well. So my question is always the same thing. Hey, what made you change? What didn't you like? What kind of prompted that change? And, why IAD for you?
Sure. So I was actually with a brokerage for almost 6 years. That was my first brokerage that I went into. And that's really where I developed my skills and was able to get my own leads at that point. So I was steadily getting business, my own leads through open houses and friends and referrals and that kind of thing. And then I was also helping training in that office, but I found that I was just building up somebody else's business. And at the end of the day, their name is on it, not mine. And I said, you know what? I don't want to do the training. I just want to get concentrated on my own business. I got to concentrate on really building up like my Google profile and having all my reviews, all these things that I didn't do at my previous brokerage. So that's really what I did to go into the next brokerage, which was 100% commission, because again, I wasn't getting any leads from anybody, and I had no interest in really like building a team, because I just helped build a team. And it really like turn out exactly the way that I wanted it to turn out. So then I just said, you know what, I'm just going to do this. And then I was presented with the opportunity by Michelle. I've been in contact with a close friend of mine that we meet. She's my accountability partner, and we meet every week while I was at the other brokerage, because we were both at the original brokerage, and just kind of told me a little bit about what was going on. And then when I actually dove in, I said, wow, this is just such a huge opportunity that I'm getting in somewhere on the ground floor. And I was just really excited. I liked obviously the splits and like all that stuff, but the splits were different than the 100% commission, right? Like I'm taking a pay cut, but really what I'm taking is an investment in myself. And that's what I just decided, like, this is an investment in myself and my retirement. I don't have a retirement really set up. I have 5 kids, so I need quite a bit of money so to make sure that I have everything, all my ducks in a row. And this was the route that I saw that, wow, ground floor, so much room for improvement. And I just love the atmosphere, and it just all clicked. I said, man, I just need to get here. And so I pulled the trigger.
So I want to make sure that everyone who's listening heard a few things there, right? So there was a lot to unpack in that. So that's fantastic. So Sean, I would say you probably found a great home here at IAD. But he also said 2 things, right? He said, listen, I was making 100%, but I wasn't getting what I needed from it. I'm building someone else's business. At IAD, the reason you're saying that is because as you build your business with 2 revenue streams, both your own production and bringing people onto your team as you grow and have that downline revenue, you can sell that business when you decide to retire 10, 15, 20 years down the road. There's a lucrative open market for that business for you. Nowhere else in the United States can you get that done. I know that for a fact because I've worked with numerous companies myself, and I've been an officer at one of the major companies in the world. And I can tell you, this was the model that I thought to myself, this is wildly unique, because it actually helps agents. It's an agent first model, but it actually helps agents build the business for themselves, be part of an international conglomerate based in Florida, and have the ability to sell your business. It's a win-win-win all the way around. So very excited. Thank you for sharing that information. You actually, came to our training center, which we call the Inspire Space, 3, 4, 5 times. You actually did a training course for us on open houses, which is one of your specialties. And when agents hear open houses, they think, oh, that's a waste of the time. I do that for my seller. But you actually have a unique angle. You own that thing, and you actually make it work for you and really develop it out from there. So if you don't mind, just a brief thing on your open house, discussions.
Sure. So before I got started in real estate, I was a math teacher for Orange County for high school. So I really tried to keep my circle super small. I was not on any kind of social media. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to see any of my kids outside of school. So I was just like stay off the radar, right? And then I was presented with the real estate opportunity. And I said, oh man, I got to change this up. So what am I going to do to increase my sphere? I could do cold calls, which is not for me. That I just found out, just trying to do that. That's not my style. Door knocking was a little bit tougher. I'm a bigger guy, being 6'6" and like coming to somebody's door. Like that's, again, these could be excuses, could not be excuses. But where I found the most comfort was that open houses when I'm face to face with somebody. I said, wow, this is really a good way to meet somebody. And then that they can feel that I'm a real person, that I'm not like this like stuffy salesman or like greasy salesman, none of that stuff. They can feel it right away when they meet me, and then just building the relationship from there. And I built a system. Michelle and I together built this class so that we can train other people to do the same thing, because it's amazing when you can actually talk to somebody, see somebody, and be in their presence, and what kind of difference that can make. And then you give value from there, and that's solid gold.
Fantastic. And so that's one thing. And I've had this conversation with agents for 15, 20 years, right? It's odd when you see it, because there's no magic bullet, right? There's no special, it's you find what works for you, and it's consistency, and it literally everything. I've been in rooms with $1 million agents, and they all say the same thing. Well, I do this, but it's not the same as his. I don't do this. And they all do something different, but they do it really well. They go very deep, and they consistently provide that value, whether it's bus benches or mailers or open houses. It's owning whatever it is, because it all works. You just have to do it consistently. So I thank you for sharing that with everybody. Also, you mentioned Michelle Sims, who's one of our top agents, and she technically is your mentor as you came into the program here. So, and as you want to bring people on, your goal now is to add a bunch of agents and provide that same opportunity to agents in the Orlando area. It could be anywhere in Florida, frankly, to your team, so you can help mentor them and bring them into the system, and so they can build a business that they could sell down the road, and really help clients with one of the best real estate models in the world, but also have that ability to have that downline revenue that's not only simple and lucrative, but it's also saleable down the road. So your information is scrolling down at the bottom here. Any particular markets that you're looking to grow in?
The Central Florida area, I specialize in East Orlando. That's where I mostly have set up my shop. But really, I like to teach anybody to set up their shop wherever they're at. So if they live in St. Cloud, then they need to go dive deep into that community. I'm in the Waterford Lakes, and I'm on the PTA board. I'm vice president of the PTA board at the elementary school there. And I constantly am in the community events there, and I make my presence known. So you could do the same thing. So it doesn't really matter if you're in St. Cloud, if you're in Celebration, if you're in DeBerry, you could do the same exact thing that I'm doing. And that's what I'd love to teach.
Great. Well, not only do we have the international reach, being in 8 countries with 20,000 agents, but, you really hyper local here with our own agents, and that mentorship is ongoing, right? So it's not like she's your mentor for the first 2 deals and thanks for coming in. You actually work together as almost a team, indirectly as a team for a long period of time. As long as you guys are working together, as long as you're with the company, you will have that type of support, not only from myself, but from live agent support on the back end, and your mentor all the way up the line. So very excited to have you part of the model. And again, anything else we can do for you, we're going to check back with you in 6 months or so to see how things are growing. And we'd love to have anyone who's interested reach out to Sean directly. There it is at the bottom. There's a couple ways to get a hold of us, but we'd love to have you part of a growing model backed by $1 billion conglomerate. And we have that international reach that everyone's looking for. So Sean, thank you for taking the time today for joining us, and we'd love to work with you.
Thanks a lot, Chris. See you soon.
You got it.